This is the Horse Radio Network.
This is episode 1199 of Horse Tip Daily, your almost everyday morsel of helpful hints, useful facts, and practical techniques for horse folks. Brought to you today by horselovers.com. Greetings, horse people. Coach Jen here, and thanks for tuning in to Horse Tip Daily. Today's tip is an excerpt from the monthly Certified Horsemanship episode on Horses in the Morning. Show host Christy Landwehr is joined by Julie Goodnight with a list of her top safety caveats. And we'll get right to our tip after this important message from horselovers.com. Horselovers.com is your one-spot stop on the web for your holiday and winter show season shopping needs. Feeling spontaneous? Check out horselovers.com's flash sales for fantastic deals on popular items for horse, rider, or barn. In a quandary over what to get for your horse-loving friends? Horselovers.com has holiday shopping guides sure to inspire. Or do you just need to get away and recharge? Well, horselovers.com has that covered too. Go to horselovers.com/sweeps and enter to win an all-expense-paid vacation to Walt Disney World in Orlando, Florida, including a behind-the-scenes tour of Tri-Circle D Ranch, a Fort Wilderness trail ride, and so much more. Go to horselovers.com/sweeps today. That's horselovers, HORSELOVERZ.com/sweeps.
As CHA instructors change lives through safe experiences with horses. So my first question to get us started today is, what are some of the safety caveats while doing some of these more advanced exercises?
Sure. Well, a lot of exercises that we do, sometimes they increase the risk of what you're doing. I mean, riding is a risky sport, and there's no way to entirely eliminate the risk. But, just for instance, a lot of times with riders, I will have them drop their reins for a particular exercise. And that is not without risk. I mean, letting go of the reins certainly imposes a risk. But if we're doing it for a reason, and that reason is to make the rider better, to improve their skills, then perhaps it's a risk worth taking. So the first thing is to acknowledge that what you're doing is an increased risk. And the second thing is to see, well, what can I do to mitigate that risk? Well, I'm not going to ask somebody to drop their reins if their horse is out of control when they're holding the reins. So the first thing, would be to look at the horse and make sure the horse has an adequate level of training for that exercise. And I'll give you another example of sometimes we do exercises that involve sort of flailing the arms or swinging the legs or something like that. Well, if you have a horse that is very green or has had some bad handling in his past or maybe been abused, certainly swinging your arms around his head is not an advisable thing to do until he's desensitized to that. So just, first of all, acknowledging what are the risks, what are the additional risks, and what I'm asking this person to do, and how can I mitigate them? Well, if I'm asking them to let go of the reins, maybe it's a good idea to be in a confined area. Maybe I better make sure the gate is shut. Maybe we want to do this in the round pen or on a lunge line where the instructor has greater control. So I think it's really more a matter of awareness and fully evaluating and not getting blinded to, well, I've got to do this exercise no matter what because it's one I plan to do. We have to be always aware and fluid in our decisions, no matter what your lesson plan was that day. If the student and the horse comes in the arena and the horse is acting up, what I always tell people in my clinics is no matter what you're working on at this moment, if your horse becomes disobedient, you're now working on obedience. And you can't work on anything else until the horse is back in control. So I think it's just a matter of acknowledging the risk, being aware of it at every moment, and then finding ways that you can mitigate the risk.
I think so too. And I'll tell you, crack me up when you say that. I think riding instructors need to be very flexible because we go in with a plan. This is what we're going to teach today. And whether you teach in the private riding lesson world or the group riding lesson world, that horse that particular day or that rider that particular day might change that plan instantaneously. And you better have a plan B, C, and D.
Well, at no time is that more obvious than when we do the TV show. We have riders apply. They apply to be on the TV show. Of course, we don't know them. We hope we saw a video or a photograph, but sometimes we don't even have that to go on. And we ask them what they want to work on in the application. There's always a lengthy response. I want to work on this and that. I want to work on collection. I want to work on flying lead changes. I want to work on, spins and blah, blah, blah. And then they get there and perhaps they don't even have basic control of their horse, or perhaps the horse doesn't even know which lead to take when you cue him to canter. Well, if he doesn't know which lead to take when you cue him to canter, we're not going to be working on flying lead changes today. So I would say easily 50% of the time in the TV show, we end up working on something different than what the person put in their application, because you have to have certain skills in place before you can work on these higher level skills.
Well, there you have it. You can find links to today's guests as well as lots more tips at horsetipdaily.com. Make sure to have all of your favorite Horse Radio Network shows with you wherever you go with the free, that's right, free, Horse Radio Network app for your iPhone or Android. Just go to your app store and search Horse Radio Network. Download it today. It's quick, it's free, and it's easy. You can also subscribe via iTunes. This podcast was made possible through the generous support of horselovers.com and listeners like you. The Horse Radio Network and the Horse Radio Network hosts are not responsible for statements of guests or their opinions. Use your own judgment when listening to the tips provided by the experts on Horse Tip Daily.